Today we're going to talk about the story of Bioshock's Brigid Tenenbaum and why she was important to Rapture. In the audio diary For the Love of Science found in the medical pavilion, we learn that Brigid Tenenbaum is a woman who was imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp as a child. There were scientists at the camp who were performing experiments. Tenenbaum realized their experiments were useless and not achieving any actual goal and expressed this to the scientists. Further into the medical pavilion, you find a diary called Useless Experiments, where she says that the Germans had her conduct genetic experiments on the other prisoners in the camp.
At the German prison camp, they put me to work on genetic experiments on other prisoners. They call me Das Wunderkind, the wonder child. Germans. All they can talk about is blue eyes and the shape of forehead. All I care about is why is this one born strong and that one weak? This one smart, that one stupid. All that killing. You think the Germans could have been interested in something useful?
The rest of her family was killed in the camp, but she survived due to her arrangements with the scientists. After World War II ended, the camp was disbanded and she fled to the U.S. She then found Rapture and played a huge part in the Civil War. As you move into the upper wharf, you can find an audio diary titled Finding the Sea Slug. It says,
I saw one of the smugglers having a game of catching on the docks today. And this surprised me because his hands were crippled during the war. He was unloading the barge the other day when he was bitten from the sea slug. He woke up the next morning as he thought he could move his fingers for the first time in years. I asked him if he still had that sea slug. As luck would have it, he did.
Next, in the tea garden, you will find more audio diaries on how she produced so much Adam. She discovered that if you create a relationship with a slug and a human, it produces more Adam. To farm more Adam, put slugs in the stomachs of little girls, and the only person who would sponsor this work was Frank Fontaine. Frank Fontaine set up an orphanage system to steal the little girls of Rapture and inject them with the slugs. The merge with the slugs would then turn the little girls into monsters. The people of Rapture hated the two because of this. Frank Fontaine then started spreading Adam, which is just essentially a super heavy drug, into the city, and turning people into crazy drug addicts. These people would then try to kill the little sisters in order to get more Adam, and Frank Fontaine and Tenenbaum saw this as a huge problem. So they hired someone to build something to protect the little sisters, which then are known as the Big Daddies. Frank Fontaine is said to be dead, and Tenenbaum, now with no sponsorship, goes into hiding. Tenenbaum begins to feel extremely guilty about the little sisters, seeing the humanity in them that she saw in the children in Auschwitz. In the game, she will then urge you to save the little sisters. As you approach the first little sister you can interact with, she will make her appearance.
Stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
It's okay, lad. It's not a child. Not anymore, it ain't. Dr. Tenenbaum saw to that.
Bitte, do not hurt her. Have you no heart?
Aye, that's a pretty sermon coming from the ghoul who cooked up them creatures in the first place. Took fine little girls and turned them into that, didn't you? Listen to me, boyo. You won't survive without the Adam those things are carrying. Are you prepared to trade your life, the lives of my wife and child, for Tenenbaum's Frankenstein?
Here, there is another one.
She throws you a plasmid bottle and says, "Use this. Free them from their torment. I will make it worth your while, somehow."
Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
The path of the righteous is not always easy, yes. The reward will become clear in time. Be patient.
Way later on in the game, when you find out Atlas is actually Frank Fontaine and he's controlling your mind, Tenenbaum will take you to her hideout. No matter if you've saved the Little Sisters or harvested them, Tenenbaum will free you from Frank Fontaine's mind control.
Welcome back, child. Welcome to the city where you were born. You are angry at Fontaine, yes? Now you know the truth. You are his tool, brought back to Rapture to save him. You have saved many of my little ones. I owe you a debt. While you sleep, I undo some of Fontaine's mental conditioning. His control is no longer complete, but he can still pull some very unpleasant strings.
The Little Sisters will also help you in the final fight against Frank Fontaine.
Think you got a shot at this? I'm barely getting started. I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now, if you don't call that family, I know what is. And now...
From there, one of two endings will play, depending on if you harvested or saved the Little Sisters. If you've harvested them, the voice line will play,
They offered you everything, yes? And in return, you gave them what you always did. Brutality. You took what you wanted. All the atom, all the power. And Rapture trembled. But in the end, even Rapture was not enough for you. Your father was terrified that the world would try to steal the secrets of his city. For you now have stolen the terrible secrets of the world.
If you've saved the Little Sisters, this voice line will play.
They offered you the city. And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.